Well, no, number 7 is Ebro.
Ebro 7.
I'm 6.
Big Vlad.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always surprised when I get on the list, period.
Is that the highest you've ever been?
Yes, I was 9 last year.
9 last year,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't really want to talk about myself. How do you feel about me being number 6 on the list?
Argument can be made that you should be higher.
Really?
Absolutely, yes. Especially come off the Keefy D shit, right? You're at the height of your impact of what you do. No one can talk about your consistency in terms of what you build with this platform. You were ahead of the curve, right? Your individual platform. We all thought you was crazy. None of us gave you the respect.
Yeah.
And you did the work. Simple as that. I was there.
Yeah.
And I always say my biggest career not regret, because I don't believe in regrets, but mistake was not embracing YouTube.
Yeah.
Early on, like I used to think YouTube is the enemy. Like they flagged my shit. Fuck them. Start a new account.
Yeah.
They flagged this. Instead of realizing this is the outlet that's gonna help us, whatever. So what you've done and built with Vlad TV, I think is coming even more to fruition of your recognition of what you've done all these years because of these sort of key interviews you've done in the last year or so. But yeah, of course. I mean, you can't deny your impact. And it's also turned the tide of breaking that narrative that you can only view Vlad TV as one way. Like Vlad is this person who's kind of taking from our culture and not contributing to our culture, which has always been your content to contribute. And I think people are now, you're turning a lot of non-believers into believers, and maybe they don't love you, respect you. They don't love you necessarily, but they respect you. That's the thing too. It's like, I don't want to be beloved. I want to be respected.
Okay.
So I think that's similar to you. It's like you continue to like change people's minds about they need to respect you and respect your platform.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're right. I was the first person in hip hop to go all into YouTube.
Absolutely.
From day one.
Absolutely.
2008. As
100%.
soon as the partner program became a thing, I got on literally in the first couple
Absolutely.
months.
Absolutely.
And I never took my foot off the gas.
Absolutely. And I don't think enough people know that story. Maybe you should talk about that more too, that origin story of that, because these kids have YouTube as such a constant, and like, well, there isn't. I'm monetizing through YouTube. It's like, that wasn't done back then. It wasn't like
No. I was the
That didn't
first one.
exist.
Yeah, I transitioned
yeah.
from DVDs, from street DVDs into YouTube. Because as soon as I saw YouTube, I said, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. Let me drop what I'm doing. Let me stop doing mixtapes. Let me stop DJing. Let me stop doing DVDs. Let me stop hustling on the side. And boom. Let me just
how many subscribers does the channel have at this point?
Almost 6. Like 5.9 million.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But that shit was brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. So, respect.
And then you're number 5. You're one ahead of me.
Put Elliott at 6. No, 16.
Well, look, I'm going to keep it funky.
Let's keep it funky.
Because I remember when I was on Academic Show about, 2 months ago, he asked me about you and about where your place is and so forth. I don't know if did you see it?
I probably did, yeah.
Okay.
I always see what
this was
people
before
talk
the
about
list came out.
Uh-huh.
And what I said was this.
Okay.
I said, Elliott's dope. He's always been dope. He has monumental interviews. Drake, Jay-Z, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what I said was that in the current climate, he doesn't put out as much content as his contemporaries.
That's fair.
He's not putting out
like the Big Sean of the Bigger Free.
Yeah.
Haven't put out enough content to compare.
Yeah, because it's like, it was almost a similar criticism to like Carisha Please. You know what I'm saying? Carisha had very dope interviews, but there'd be months in between those interviews.
Carisha Please. What happened?
Well, the Diddy thing.
I know what happened, but I'm saying it's crazy how like there's no more Carisha Please. It's crazy.
There is. I mean, she could bring it back, but probably not. Yeah.
She won like 2 podcast awards.
Yeah, she was like Podcast of the Year, like twice. I didn't even get nominated. She's not on the list. But that's the whole thing of Elliott has incredible interviews, but months pass in between them. And that's why when you look at like on Vlad TV, we drop 10 clips every day. And then we're literally doing 3, 4, 5 interviews a week sometimes. Adam puts out a lot of content. Academic is always putting out a lot of content. Charlemagne, with the Breakfast Club, every week there's content.
Yep.
And that was the criticism that I had of you, and I think it's a fair criticism.
It's fair. You want me to rebuttal why I think I'm important?
Go ahead.
I think what people don't give me credit on, and I think what fans and my peers look at is my presence on social media, my presence on Twitter, my presence on Instagram, that I use those outlets to document the culture in ways that nobody else had done before. So I feel like the way you was ahead of YouTube, I was ahead of Twitter and Instagram. And I said, you know what? It isn't just about like either my plate of food or me like standing in the corner. It's about, I want to use this medium to document hip hop culture. So it's almost like someone said in the write-up, it's almost like a mood board of like, here's my content I have, but also here's something else dope happened. So if it's a dope interview that somebody else did, I'll put it on my page. And nobody else was doing that. So I think because of that, you know, the Drakes of the world start following me and they leaving comments and liking my shit, and the big artists, and the artists want those looks. But it isn't a shade room kind of thing of like, it's a business behind it. It's actually just an outside outlet that I'm doing, but it's still impactful. So I think what happened was, you could say, I could argue like, well, I did this Tyler interview, that was amazing. Tyler Creator's great interview.
Yeah.
I did Young Boy in Utah, I did 1 million views. So I have those sort of things, not as consistent as a pack, but also when I get into a conflict with Nicki Minaj and it plays out on social media, it isn't just I'm like quote unquote trolling. I really saw something, I was commenting on it, and it leads to a thing where now it's raised my profile because people follow me on these mediums. So it's impactful work in that sense where people don't view it as work because Twitter nor Instagram is my platform. But my whole thing is I'm transitioning more and more that people get to know who I am, not the YN persona, but Elliott Willson. So everything that I do is a platform. If I have a public fallout with Drake, who's the biggest guy in the game, you can't deny my impact and influence on culture.
True.
Even he puts it out to the public. It says, hey, this guy, blah, blah, and it plays out. Kendrick Lamar, if I have a moment where I go to his video shoot, he calls me out, calls me a rat. It's just like, it shows, I'm not the old guy in the old club in the bottom half of the list. I'm somewhere near the top because I still am this impactful person, even when I'm in the transitional period where I don't have this like platform and I'm consistently delivering content. So I think I'm just doing it a different way. And I think that was noted that way. So you could argue where I belong on the list, but I definitely think I still belong top 10. I think last year they had me at number 8. 5 maybe too high.
Oh, you were 8 last year?
I was 8 last
year.
year.
So you're always one ahead of me.
This was destiny, Vlad, for us to come together. They were trying to bring us together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with it. I love the debate around it. I think it's such a big deal. I just thought it was funny when like you go through the list and Charlemagne chose to be like, that's the one thing he's gonna center on and make it a big deal. That was interesting to me.